Hello and welcome to the second channel for Tales from the Trip. I'm your host, the Trip Keeper, and on today's video, I'm going to be ranking the Michael Myers mask via this tier list maker. I didn't make this list. Shout out to this guy, whoever that guy is. Thank you for making this. Doesn't say where whoever made it. Do I have time to find it? Whatever. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, that guy. But I did change the names of the ranking. Of course, it goes from S to bad and really bad. But I changed the names as they didn't really make any sense to me. It was the shape and then Corey Cunningham and then the shape was at the bottom again. I didn't understand, that. So I made some new ones. The best masks that Michael Myers ever wore would be I'd fuck the shit out of Nick Castle. Nick Castle's the guy who portrayed Michael in the original, and he also had cameos in the new ones. So yeah, even though those movies were not good, he was. Next one would be like really good, like amazing. Dude, take my money. The next one is good, and I'd say I fuck with this. I fuck with it. And then the next one would be okay. So that's shit. I mean, it's alright. And then the next one would be bad. Not as bad, not as in SZA bad, but like bad bad. Yeah, not like she's a baddie, you know what I'm saying? But this is like, man, she be eating Popeyes and then KFC and wonder why she gains like 340 pounds. The next one would be waste management needs to be called. That means it's getting pretty terrible. Because waste management needs to be called and you need to take out the trash, so it's garbage. And the last one is god awful shit needs to be burned. So the worst of the worst. Now, I am a big fan of Michael Myers. He is my favorite horror villain of all time. I grew up watching him. Let me know if you want me to do a ranking of the Halloween films or just like, not even a tier list or whatever you want me to do. But I have a lot to say on that fucking franchise. There's a lot of ups and downs with it, but the original is just so good that it can create shit and it'll still be at the top for me. I'm also drinking a beer with the Blue Moon with the orange in it, so got that going for me. These are in order. I had to add the last one because that one wasn't on there. I found on another tier list. I'm like, oh, I forgot about that one, so I had to add that one on. But this person got it pretty down to the T. I mean, there's some other masks in the Rob Zombie Halloween where he made a couple which really don't even matter. But all right, let's get started. So since this is in order, this is the first mask that Michael Myers ever wore. Now, we don't know, maybe other Halloweens he's had different masks, or maybe he's been a clown this whole time. I don't know. But this was the mask he killed his sister Judy in 1963, Halloween night. And I don't remember it looking like that, but the mask was pretty iconic, but I wouldn't say like it's a good one. I'd say it's pretty good for the opening. So I'm not going to be like all overexcited for it. So I'll put it shit. I mean, it's alright. It's alright. I mean, it's passable. It's watchable. So basically that category is like, hey, yeah, I'm okay with it. Next one, I think we all know where this is going to go. I mean, come the fuck on. I mean, this is the best mask in all of horror history. I mean, nothing will top it. It is the scariest. It creeps me out to this day, just thinking about it. Like just the blank, pale, emotionless face, the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. Donna Pleasant's perfect performance in that movie. Yeah, it's just a great mask. Oh, whew. Yeah, if I saw that in the corner of my room or whatever, just like, I'd be, all right, just kill me now. To think they couldn't recreate this mask in any other sequels, except for, the recent ones, which were really good. I'll get to that. But, yeah, that mask is just very iconic. I bought one yesterday on somewhere, and they're gonna hand make it, or, well, they're gonna rehaul it, which basically they have a mask like from the Trick or Treat Studios one, and they rehaul it to make it look like the original, and that's what I bought. So I'm excited to get that. It's going to take like 2 to 3 months, I think, so we definitely won't be here for Halloween, but hey, it's going to be iconic. It's my favorite fucking mask of all time. I've always wanted an original one. I mean, you're never going to get the original because the original is beat to shit. But yeah, this is, if I can get one that looks like that, you know, my days will be complete. The next one is Halloween 2, which is the same mask as the original, just with a lot of smoke that damaged it. Deborah Hill, producer, she was a heavy smoker, and she left it under her bed and it got damaged. So, but it's, you could still see it a little bit in there. I just see the reason why this mask is not going to be next to here is because Dick Warlock's head is too fat for the mask. I'm not saying he's a fat guy. I'm not fat shaming anybody. And he's not, I don't even know if he's fat. Honestly, I really don't know. But it just did not fit him right. I wonder how it would look on a different person. But just in this movie that we know, I'm going to say I fuck with this because it's really not the same. It's just, I don't know, there's something about it. And it's just not as creepy. I think it is based off of how Dick Warlock portrayed him because he was just way too fucking stiff with his walking. Michael, the original Nick Castle, he walked with a purpose, but he was still steady and slow. But like Dick Warlock was just walking really slow. Like it was. You had to have Nick Castle come back. I feel like if he came back, this would be probably at least up here. But for right now, it's going to be right here. Maybe, I think me not liking the movie as much as everyone else does, it's top 3 for me, though. But that's not saying much in this franchise. But yeah, it's going to stay right there. Halloween 4, my favorite Halloween sequel. I think if this movie had the original mask, it might be my favorite Halloween movie. But I don't think Halloween will ever be topped. Because it is my favorite horror film of all time. And I know it's cheesy now, but it's not it's not the same watching it now for the first time than when you were a kid and you get terrified of it, and that you know, that creepiness to him is just sticks with you forever. And now not saying Michael is creepy now, but like the way he creeped you out back in the day when you watched it when you were a kid, that feeling is still there. And I think that's why Halloween scares people to this day, because a lot of parents show their kids this movie. Or is that just my mom? I really don't know. But I've been watching this since I was a little kid. And this is, Halloween 4 was always my favorite as a little kid, and it's still my favorite sequel to the movie. And I don't think the mask is as bad as people say. I do think it's not good. But all right, we'll get to that though. But this one right here is actually really pretty terrifying. I actually love this look. I wish you could have had a couple more kills in it, because it's pretty scary when he comes up to the mechanic and like he has that fucking bar he kills the mechanic with. He just comes out of the car and you're just like, oh shit, there's Michael. And well, he didn't know that was Michael, but yeah, just the bandages are fucking badass. So I'm gonna have to say, dude, take my money, because that is just so, it fits him perfectly. It's scary, and yeah. And honestly, if they used that for the whole movie, I wouldn't have been that mad, because that would have made it even better. Now for the mask that they used in Halloween 4, most 99% or 95% of the time. Yeah, like I said, not a lot of people like this mask, but I'm one of those people that thinks it's okay. You know, it's not bad, but I do understand why people don't like it. But as a kid, this movie freaked me out a lot, just like the original. So I think that's why this mask, I like it a lot more than other people. And seeing the original online with photos, it's really cool to see it. So I'm gonna have to put it in shit. I mean, it's I'm gonna put it right here. Wait. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna rank them as we go in order. So most people would have this mask down here or below, but not me. I love Halloween 4. All right, this one was a mistake. They had to do some reshoots or something, or they didn't have time to reshoot, and they just grabbed a random mask that they had laying around, the Ben Tramer mask, and they used it with it. As a kid, I always thought this was a dream sequence for some reason. I thought it was like Jamie's imagination, but yeah, that was not true. That was actually a real scene. So, yeah, I never was scared by it. I thought it was stupid all the time. So I'm gonna have to put this in waste management. I'm not gonna say it's god awful, because you paint the hair. I mean, it's at least closer to the original mask, but yeah, like that. That's the Ben Tramer mask. Yeah, I don't know. It's not very good. The Halloween 5 mask portrayed by Don Shanks. This one's a little iffy for me. I do think it's funny looking. I really think it's weird. But the fact that it looks so weird and so funny looking, I kind of like it a little bit, but I don't really like it. So, Ozzy, please be quiet. Hold on, no, I'm not gonna. I can't move. I'm gonna put it in bad, not as in SZA bad, but it is bad. It is not a good mask. I don't like how the neckline is out. It should be inside of his costume, and the hair is a little weird, but just the way it looks is just, I don't know. It's kind of iconic in its own right, because that movie is terrible. I mean, probably one of my least favorite Halloween movies of all time. It ruined the franchise. It is just, if they took more time with it and they went on with the ending of Halloween 4, I think this could have turned into something really good. But killing Rachel that fast in, I mean, why would you do that? Why? I don't care if you had a year to make it. You do not kill Rachel. She was basically replacing Laurie Strode as that final girl character with Jamie, of course. Not saying she is Laurie Strode, but she did a pretty good job. I liked Laurie in that, or Rachel. Yeah, but when you kill her off with a pair of scissors too, come on. She would not die by a pair of scissors, except in that movie. So yeah. This next one is a mask he wore after he killed Tina's boyfriend, and Tina was in the car with him, and I don't really know how I feel about this mask. I mean, it's not really nothing. I mean, it's really nothing to write home about, and it's just not, I don't know. It's kind of weird looking. I can't even picture it being like, Michael Myers in there. It's just not. So we'll put it in bad, because it's not a bad mask. It's just not a Michael Myers mask. Halloween 6 mask. Now, my hatred for this movie may affect this, but I do think the mask is pretty good. I think if it was played by someone else, I think I forgot who played him in that movie, but he was more stockier, and the way he moved, it was like a mix of Dick Warlock and Nick Castle, which I did not like. I just didn't like the movie whatsoever. I don't like the Cult of Thorn or whatever the fuck it's called. That was really stupid. They had to put that. See, it's all Halloween 5's fault, because they're the reason why Halloween 6 turned to shit. So I can't really blame that movie for what they had to do. But they didn't really have to make another one. I understand why they did, because money. But also, that movie was produced by Harvey Weinstein, I think. Weinstein Company, was it, or whatever? I think he was part of it. I'm not sure. And then Paul Rudd's acting is just completely terrible in the movie. I mean, God. You can't forget about that performance. I know he has, but it's really terrible. But the mask in itself is pretty good. So I'm going to put, I fuck with this, because I do think it's better than these. It's not as good as a Halloween 2 mask. But yeah, it is. I think if it was on a different person in a different movie, it would work out pretty well. This next mask is the first one they use in H2O, which they should have stuck with, because it looks a lot better than, I mean, look at these three. I mean, come on. Yeah, this mask would have been pretty good to use in the movie. I don't know why they didn't. I don't know the backstory behind that, but it's pretty good. But just for the limited runtime it had, I'm going to have to put it behind Halloween 6. But I do fuck with it. I feel like if it was used and we got to see it in different lightings and shit, it probably could be up here, or maybe, no, it's not going to be up there, but it's going to be at least be up here. But from that angle, yeah, it's pretty good. This one, I mean, what the fuck is that? That is not a Michael Myers mask. I don't care what you have to say. That is terrible. I don't know why, who in their right mind would use that? With all these masks in H2O, they use some of the worst ones when they had this one right here. Like, why? Why would you use, look, that's a fucking alien. That's not Michael Myers. Look at the eyebrows. I mean, what the fuck? He's not scary whatsoever. And I think it was when they first confronted Laurie and Michael, or maybe I'm thinking of the wrong thing, but when they showed it in the movie, you're just like, oh God, what is that? I'm not a fan of H2. I used to be. I don't like the college setting. I don't like how it's like a Scream movie. I think Scream works good because it was the first one. Scream is one of my favorites too, but all these movies that try to copy it is just, they failed at it. But yeah, I don't like that mask whatsoever. This next one is the one they use mainly in H2O, which I I don't like it. I don't know. I feel like because you can see his eyes in this photo you see right here. You see his fucking eyes, and that's a problem. When you see Michael, there's supposed to be darkness in there. You're not supposed to see his eyes. That was one of my main problems with H2O. You see his fucking eyes. You cannot. That is like the epitome of Michael Myers as being evil and being and just flowing a darkness out of his eyes, and it's just you don't feel that with this mask whatsoever. Um, I don't know how like if you could paint his eyes black or like put a black covering over the eye holes, would that fix it? But even then, I don't know. I don't. He looks like surprised, and it just ruins it for me. I'll put it in the waste management because it's not the worst mask ever, and I don't think it's god awful, but it's pretty terrible. The next one is a scene that should just not even be in the movie if this had to happen. The CGI Michael Myers mask. I mean, this has to be the worst in the franchise. I mean, come on. What the hell is that? Why would you even add that in? It's just like in The Sopranos when they had Livia, after she died, her actor died, and they placed her CGI head over an actor's body. It's like, why even add that scene? Like, why would you do that? It just ruins everything. That just ruins the whole scene. It's not scary. There's nothing. You could tell it's computer generated. I mean, it's not good. I don't even know what that mask would look like, even if it was like real life, like practical. It's not. Like, just delete that scene. This is abomination of the franchise. I think has to be the worst one, because I don't see anything worse after that. This next one, probably the worst Halloween movie in the franchise. Maybe second. Okay, maybe it's not the worst, but it's probably tied for worst. I can't really think right now if I were to do a ranking where I would put it, but it's at the bottom. It's either last or close to last. Halloween Resurrection mask, but the mask looks better than the H2O mask. I'm not. It doesn't look good, but it's not like the worst one compared to these. Like these. This one actually, like, I think the problem with it is that it looks too, like, human. I don't know. With the original Michael mask, there's no human features there. There's nothing. It's just a motionless, pale face. That's what it is. But this one, I'd be kind of, if that was in my room, I'd be kind of scared of it. But since the movie sucks so bad and there's nothing scary in it at all, it just can't be higher. But, so I can't really, I'm ranking these masks based on the movies too, but it's a little part of it because, yeah, I don't know. But this one I'll have to put in bad. I'll put it above this. I'll put it above Halloween 5. I think if this was used in Halloween 5, maybe Halloween 5 would be a little bit better. But yeah, it's still bad, but not as isn't bad. Like it can't be up here. I don't think it's all right. I think it's just bad, but it's not the worst one. This next one is 2007 remake by Rob Zombie, which I actually enjoy. I like that movie. I like how dark it is. There's definitely the writing is terrible, especially in the opening scene at the dinner table. I mean, my God, Rob Zombie, what is your fucking problem? No one talks like that. That is just even incest people in the South probably don't fucking talk like that. I don't know why he wants to appease that kind of audience, but he must go to the fucking Juggalo festival all the time or some shit. I have no idea. It's probably, I don't want to get it too into it in case I might offend somebody, but yeah, I just don't like that scene. Probably one of the worst scenes in the whole franchise. But this mask, I think it's a pretty good clown mask. I think it's, if that was, because I think he murdered a rat. I think he murdered, did he murder his dad in that too? And he murdered Junie from Spy Kids in that movie too with the stick. I actually really like that scene in the movie. That's what I like. I like how brutal it was. That's what Rob Zombie's good at. He's good at making brutal movies. I'm actually a fan of most of his movies. I haven't seen 31 yet, but I haven't heard good stuff about it, but I haven't heard good stuff about all of his movies, but I seem to enjoy him just a little bit. Lords of Salem was Devil's Rejects, I actually really enjoy that movie. House of a Thousand Corpses, I gotta be in the mood, but I don't think it's bad at all. And Sid Haig, I like his what's his clown name in that movie? I forgot what it was called, but I like that. But this clown right here, I think Honestly, I think it's better than this clown in the original. I think it has an antique feel to it. I think it's actually pretty good. So I'm actually gonna put it in I fuck with this because I actually like that mask. All right, then this one that they the 2007 remake that the boyfriend was wearing and Michael stole to kill his sister. This one would be really good, like in the second part or the final act of or whatever the fuck the third act of Halloween 2007. It's this one that they use, but this is the original. He put it in the floorboards, and it became that. So, but this one is actually really good. But the fact that it was on Judy's boyfriend who wasn't wearing a shirt, and it went on Michael as a kid who looked really weird on him, I cannot put this any higher than I fuck with this. So I'm gonna put it up. I'll probably put it right here. Uh, is it better than Halloween 6? I'm gonna put it. Yeah, it's better than Halloween 6, I'd say. But because if we would have seen this on Tyler Mane, I think that would have been awesome, just like this one. So yeah. This one is one of the masks Michael created in the insane asylum, and I actually really like this one. I think it's actually pretty scary, and in the director's cut, where the fucking where the unnecessary scene, good thing goes in the director's cut of the fucking rape, like totally unnecessary. That was the second most unnecessary scene. Maybe it's the first most because that other one was just dialogue. This is actually real life. Like, come on, man, don't you, that was not necessary. And there's only certain things in certain movies that a scene like that is necessary in. This was definitely not. It was just added in there for no fucking reason. Just to make you feel happy about Michael killing those security guards. Like, that's the only reason why. And it's not even like, I hope they die, but like, why would you add that in there? But I think he kills him in this mask, if I'm not mistaken. And this mask shows when he's like really just downhill, and he hasn't spoken a word. I mean, of course, he hasn't spoken in a while since he was a kid, but he's just like, he's fully Michael Myers at this point. And so I'm gonna put this at Dude, Take My Money, because I actually really fuck with that. I know this says I fuck with this, but I really fuck with this one. I should have made that I really fuck with this one, but oh well. Too late to change that. Well, it's not too late. I could change it, but hey, what are you gonna do? But I still like this a lot more. I think this is really badass, and this is like the second most badass thing. So yeah, this is the Michael Myers mask that he wore fully in the third act of Halloween 2007, and it's pretty scary. And I think the fact that you added on to Tyler Mane, who is he's like 6'5" or some shit. I think he was like a wrestler too. Probably the most terrifying Michael Myers of all time. I know the original Michael, I was most terrified of him. But yeah, this one would be the most physically menacing one. But the reason Nick Castle is so terrifying is because you wouldn't expect it to be terrifying. He's just like a normal guy. But the way they describe him and the way they talk about him, like, that one is the most terrifying. But this one physically is. And I'm going to have to put it in Dude, Take My Money. I like this mask a lot. I'm going to put it at the top of that one. So yeah, I like the weathered look to it. I like that. I feel like that's what would happen if it was in there that long. But I feel like if you put that on, there'd be you'd be breathing in a lot of shit, but I doubt Michael cares. Because he could take bullets, and he'll survive. So that's fine. Halloween 2. I used to really like this movie when I was a kid, but the more I watch it now, I don't know. There's a lot of problems to it. But I do like the kills in it. The kills are probably what saves it. Like the opening scene, or one of the opening scenes, where they're driving Michael to the hospital or whatever, and those people are like, another scene with the just unnecessary dialogue with the paramedics. Like, no paramedics are talking like that. I'm sorry. But they get into an accident after they hit a cow, and Michael just chops off the guy's head with the fucking glass, and he cuts it really slowly. I really like that scene. I'm the devil. No, but yeah, that's that's the scene I really enjoy. And then the one where Annie gets killed, that one was really emotional. That's probably the most emotional scene in the franchise, if I'm gonna be honest. That one actually made me really sad, because Annie. Oh, okay, another unnecessary scene in the franchise is when she got naked in the first one. She had sex, and she's like, "Oh, you want to fuck me?" Why would you do that to Danielle Harris? We saw her as a child in Halloween 4 and Halloween 5, and now we're hearing her say that. Like, come on, Rob Zombie, you are fucked up. And then we see her naked again, but at least it makes more sense as to why she would be. I think she was naked in the Halloween 2, but yeah. Anyways, this mask, I know I said I don't like eyes, but in this one, I think he got a mask ripped off, and part of it where you could see his eyes, and he talks in this one. That's another reason why I don't like it. But this mask is okay, but I'd probably say it's either gonna be here or here. What should it be? I mean, it's aight, or is it bad? Is it better than these? You know what? Fuck. I'm gonna put it right here. Okay, it's bad. Not terrible, but bad. Now we got the Halloween 2018 and the rest of the Halloween masks. This franchise, this trilogy really pissed me off. Halloween 2018, that was the most hyped I've ever been for a movie, and the most disappointed after I left it. I don't know how this movie was well received by most people. It's seriously ruined by comedy. The dialogue was terrible. The twist in the middle of it ruins it. Completely ruins it. That is not, you don't do that in a Halloween movie. You really don't. But the saving graces for these movies is James Jude Courtney. Probably my second or third favorite Michael Myers portrayal. It's a lot better than any other fucking people from 4, 5, and 6, and H2O, Resurrection. Definitely better than way better. But the mask is one of my favorites too. It literally looks like the original that's been weathered, and I think they did a really good job with it. So I'm gonna put it up here. That's the one thing this trilogy got right, is the mask. I really liked it, and they got the black eyes. You never saw his eyes unless when he didn't have the mask on, you saw it. But yeah, Halloween Kills. This mask was also good. I'm gonna put these like up here. I think they're all good. These ones from the new ones. Yeah, it's really cool how they got that, and the fire, and just like all the damage he's taken. It just like shows how deteriorated Michael has gotten, but there's still nothing inside of him that bothers him. It's just that. Halloween Ends. Movie I enjoyed, but it was not a Halloween movie. They should not have made it a Halloween movie. That would be a perfect thing for like an anthology or something else, but not Halloween, especially the ending. If you did that in the middle, all right. Even in the first one, if you did that in the first one, I would be okay with it. But the fact you did it at the end, the last movie to end off the fucking franchise where you kill Michael Myers, why would you do that? Why would you make that the plot of the movie? And that's what makes it bad. It was not boring. None of the movies they made were boring. They were entertaining, but they were all not good. My favorite was probably Halloween Kills, because by that time I did not have any expectations for it. I knew this franchise, this reunion would be a joke, so I went into the movie theater just blind, not caring about anything, and I really enjoyed Halloween Kills for the kills, even though it was really stupid and with a lot of dialogue and the characters. But yeah, once it got to Halloween Ends, though, it's just like, I mean, you just give up. And now they made The Exorcist Believer. I could have told you from the beginning, which I did, that movie was going to suck. I've seen reviews for it. It really does suck. So, yeah, I haven't seen it. I'm not going to see it because I know it sucks. So, yeah, David Gordon Green should not be touching horror movies. Just go back to Pineapple Express, wherever the fuck you came from, because you're a terrible director. And you should not be directing movies, and Danny McBride should not be writing the dialogue for you. He is a terrible writer, unless he's for doing comedy. Not comedy in a horror movie, because there is some scenes in all these films that they made that were just like, why would you write that? I got peanut butter on my penis. Not funny whatsoever. Literally, people were laughing in the movie theater from that. That was the most unfunny shit in this whole fucking franchise. There were funnier scenes in the original Halloween that weren't even supposed to be funny, that were way funnier than that. Like when Michael picks up the phone, because Laurie's on the phone, and she's trying to call Linda, and Michael picks up the phone and just doesn't say anything. I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, we're going to put this one up here, though. I think they're all pretty even, these ones. But this one is definitely the best out of them because it's the least weathered. But these are still really cool. I like them. And then the Halloween Kills flashback with the angles it was using. I mean, This was my favorite scene sequence out of all the new Halloween movies. I mean, they got this right. There was nothing wrong with it. I thought the flashback scene was amazing. Like I that that's what saved it for me. Like if that scene wasn't in Halloween Kills, maybe it wouldn't be as good to me. No, it's not good, but like I wouldn't have enjoyed it as much, but yeah, the flashback scene was really good and the mask they used really good too. But since we it's not quite the original. It's close to it, but it's not quite there. But they got really close. Like if this mask was used in Halloween 4, oh my god, that would be amazing. But yeah, this is probably gonna go right here since it's just like I really like this one, but I do think it's better than these two because it's just like the closest to the original. As you could tell, I really like the original. Um, so yeah, that's my ranking for the Halloween masks, Michael Myers masks. I think there's probably a little bit more. Like I said, there's probably that one that was drawn in the Insane Asylum, a couple more in the 2007 remake. But yeah, that's the gist of it. And thanks to this guy who made it with no name. I swear it's probably somewhere. I'm just totally missing it. But yeah, that was my ranking. Let me know what you guys thought of it. Did you guys agree with it? Is there some hot takes maybe I had that you totally disagree with? Am I totally wrong? Or no, is this a pretty good list? Or just is it bad? Is it I mean, do you fuck with this? Do you want me to take your money or you want to take my money or you want me to fuck the shit out of Nick Castle? Is it I? Is it bad? Is it waste management? Is it god awful? Let me know. All right. That's it for me and I hope you have a wonderful day.